Alright, so the movie I'm going to talk about today is Tag. It is a 2015 horror action film by director Sion Sono. Now, I'm familiar with this director. I've watched a couple of his movies. I've watched Why Don't You Play in Hell, and I watched Suicide Club after this one. But basically, Sion Sono is known as a really weird director. He started with a lot of independent films. He did like this 4-hour movie called Love Exposure that people loved. He's well liked by everyone. And this movie has a pretty high score on Rotten Tomatoes. It got like a 90, 92, I believe. It has a pretty high rating on IMDb as well. So I didn't really know what was going on, but I saw this at the rental store, and I was like, hey, I can't rent this off of... I don't know if I could... I'm pretty sure I couldn't rent it off of YouTube. Either way, I wanted to support local. So I rented this movie not knowing much about it except for the plot, which is about a young girl who sort of keeps finding herself in these different violent realities and trying to escape. So I just, put it on, just to see what it was about. And I ended up watching probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my film watching experience. It was very strange. I wasn't expecting that. But basically, it's about Mitsuko. She is a young girl, schoolgirl, going on a field trip with all her friends. She's writing poems on the bus, and a terrible, vicious wind creature basically kills everyone on the bus and the bus in front of them. And she is able to escape just barely. She runs away, finds some more bodies, washes the blood off herself, and then she walks over to the school and everyone's alive. She's in another... She doesn't know what's going on because all of her friends were dead. Now they're not. So she walks into the school with them. She meets some new people. She doesn't know she's in another reality, so they skip class. And one of her friends probably predicts that maybe she's in another reality. So, like, she shouldn't worry about it. Maybe it was a bad dream. But then the teachers pull out really fake, shitty CGI weapons and kill everyone violently. And she runs away again and finds herself in another scenario. This time she's... I don't remember what the third scenario was her running a marathon, and then the fourth one was her at a wedding where everyone wants to kill her. It's a very strange movie. It's not thrilling or scary because of the way the movie's directed. It's done in that really crappy, fake-looking CGI blood, sort of like something that would be done in a 2005 YouTube sketch, where someone pulls out a machine gun and goes like this, and then red fake splotches, go everywhere. I don't really care what the budget of the movie was. If it was like $250,000 or 50 grand, someone made like an actual decision to write the movie like this. It's based off of a book, I found out later, but this movie it honestly just feels like a 10-year-old wrote it because it just has no reason to exist. It's not scary, it's not thrilling, it has no themes, the acting's barely there. And basically when we get to the end of the movie, we find out she's part of like some sort of video game in the future where someone took her DNA and they're just using her for fun. So she kills herself. And honestly, this movie just has no, like, it's just flabbergasting because people, they had to put effort. Even if they filmed this movie in a week, you had to like get all the extras together to play the schoolgirls. You had to like ask someone to put in the CGI blood. You have to write this hour, 25-minute movie. It just doesn't have any themes. I looked at some of the reviews. The positive reviews said this is like some sort of feminist, awesome movie, but the movie just doesn't make any sense. It's just literally a woman walking around getting... everyone else getting killed around her for no reason. She finds out she's in the future. They don't even explain like how she's able to interact with the person who took her DNA at the end. The movie makes no sense. It has absolutely no themes. It has no reason. There's no character arcs. There's no character development. It's literally just a series of events that are very childish and badly directed and shot. Terrible visual effects. This movie honestly put me in a really bad mood because I was expecting just something decent. I have seen other works of his, so it's not like I was expecting the worst movie in the world, but then I got that. And this movie, I don't know how it got like a 92. If people are just sort of like jerking off this director because it's a weird movie, or they actually like it, or they're just pretending to be pretentious. This movie honestly has no worth or value. Honestly, no one should watch this film. It's literally the worst film I've ever seen up to this point. The worst movie that I've seen before this movie was Resident Evil Afterlife. But at least that movie has value and as being a potential so bad it's good movie, because there's a lot of dumb moments in that movie. This movie has no entertainment value. It has no thematic value. It has no artistic value. It's just literally just it's just mind-boggling how something like this could be made, and people got together and said, sure, let's do this. So I give this, I have to give it a 0 out of 10. I wish I could give it like a -40, but I give Tag by Sion Sono a 0 out of 10.